Welcome back, guys. We have a short, quick one today. Really short, in fact. So we only have a couple slides to talk about today, even though there's definitely some more material to go over. But for today, just short and sweet. So first, we got to talk about the lobes of the cerebrum. To be more precise, the cerebral cortex, which is just the outer layer of the cerebrum. In regards to the lobes, you'll notice that these names should look familiar: frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital. If you recall from our skeletal system content, the names of the bones of the skull is the same exact names: frontal bone, temporal bone, parietal bone, occipital bone. So the names are the same. The only thing that's different is what are these things doing. That's the only thing that may be new. So let's start with frontal lobe. Frontal lobe is going to help control cognitive skills such as emotional expression, problem solving, memory, etc. Basically, the frontal lobe is going to be more associated with your more complex thought processes. Temporal lobe is going to be near the ears. So what do we expect? Hearing. Hearing is a rather interesting thing, and we'll learn more about that as we progress. Parietal lobe. Parietal lobe is towards the top parts of your skull. It's involved with sensation and perception. So the senses that it's involved with are taste, touch, temperature, which is technically under the umbrella of touch. But perception is actually something that's really interesting. Perception is more about how you interpret things. So that's important. And then the smallest part of the occipital of the cerebral cortex is the occipital lobe. Despite how small it is, it's a very important area because it's the visual processing center. This is the part of the brain that when you see things, it allows your brain to actually perceive what are you looking at, what are you actually observing. So very, very important regardless as far as these structures are concerned. Okay, some other structures that we need to talk about. The corpus callosum. Corpus callosum, in this case, will be this red-colored structure. It's obviously not normally red, but it's just useful for identifying. It's also this structure here in this yellow that they're looking at. It's large bundles of fibers that connect the left and right hemisphere. It carries information from one hemisphere to the other. So what's really unique about that is that without the corpus callosum, the left and right sides of the brain don't talk. There's a video that I show my students about a epileptic patient who had a surgical procedure where they cut the corpus callosum so that the left and right hemisphere do not communicate. He was able to function normally, but there was some really interesting stuff that would happen in that circumstance where, because the left and right brain aren't communicating, it's basically like having two separate brains. So really, really interesting stuff. Pituitary and pineal gland. You can see the pituitary gland right here, super tiny. You can also see it right here too, by the way. The pituitary gland is very important to the endocrine system. As you can see here, it creates hormones necessary for endocrine. When we do endocrine system content, we'll talk more about that. But the pituitary secretes 7 different hormones we're going to have to learn. So that's stuff that we're going to learn about in the future. And then the pineal gland, really tiny as well, right around here. It's actually right near the midbrain and right below the corpus callosum. The pineal gland is going to help to regulate your sleep pattern. How does it regulate sleep pattern? By secreting a compound called melatonin. Melatonin is something that we're going to learn more about and also in endocrine system. But this hormone you may take as a supplement, like a pill. It's supposed to make you feel sleepy. As the sun starts to set, you expect melatonin levels to rise to make you feel tired. So pretty interesting stuff nonetheless. Now, like I said when we started this is going to be a short video. We just didn't cover too much in our material today. So tomorrow we'll actually have a little bit more detail and a little bit more of a normal length video. All right. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you on the next one.